All right, three, two, one, boom, we're back. Yo, you can see Warriors. Unfortunately, there's one impersonator in here. That's the OKC guy over there. Like, bro,
Yeah, but anyway.
what you do? Why are you wearing that jersey for?
How do you even have a Warriors jersey? Like how?
Everybody has a game. So let's not get into it.
All right, he's here, Jeff. So we have a new face, ladies and gentlemen. We have Kweku Poku Ajiman all the way in the United States also joining us today. He's a great Warriors fan. I mean, he's been with us, he's been watching the show on YouTube, subscribing and liking and all that. Kojo, what's up? Welcome to the family, bro.
Oh, good, brother. Thanks.
Great.
Y'all do a
All right,
great job
this
here.
is new. I'm gonna start with you, bro. How you feeling, bro? Warriors in 6 has happened.
Great. I was predicting, depending on game 3, we're gonna sweep, and the guys gave me a lot of grief on social media. But from what we saw, it could have been a sweep if we had not messed up in the first game. So, yeah, I'm excited. At least we didn't go to game 7. I was dreading that.
So, Jeff, what's up? How you feeling?
Bro,
I'll give you a minute.
we're back and running, man. I'm excited. I'm very, very happy for the team, for Steph, for all the kids on the team, especially because I know we have a great future. We have, I think we're going to run it back. I think we're going to go for it next. I'm already looking forward to next game, man, because it never stops being. The excitement is always there. I've been watching videos all day and all morning, and it is what it is, man. I expected nothing but a win from the boys, so that's great, man.
All right, great. Kingsley,
Yeah, well.
I don't remember your predictions, but it was Celtics in 7.
No.
It was Warriors in 6.
Ah,
During the last segment,
Okay.
that's what I said.
Okay.
all right. So
During
I
the
was
last
like,
segment, that's what I said.
so looking at the game, what do you think?
I feel like Draymond really played an impressive game. His defense, well, he made 2 threes, which was really shocking because I've never seen Draymond make. Well, I have, but it's been a while.
He's clutch Draymond.
But Draymond. The
Yeah.
only person who really didn't really do it for me was Game 6 Clay. Because,
Play.
yeah.
Let's not get into that, please. 5 of 20. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we will get into that, of course.
at a point, he was just jacking up shots. But anyway, in all, like, Warriors brought the game in 6. I'm really, really happy for the Golden State Warriors.
All right. Now, Jeff, like you're saying, Game 6 Clay didn't happen. 5 for what? 20? 10?
Yeah, 5 of 20.
5 for 20. That's a bad game, knowing Clay and what he's been able to do for Game 6 Clay. Were you expecting Game 6 Clay, or were you expecting an average Clay?
Yeah, in the previous episode, Kinsey and I were talking about this, and I told him, hey, you're setting up Clay for a dud. Clay is not gonna be Game 6 Clay in this game. If it's gonna be Game 6 Clay, yes, but then the way he was hyped up, the way like people were talking about, the way I knew he was gonna go. I even said that. I said, if you don't be surprised if he goes 1 for 15 from 3. Because he was just, man, it's one of those days where, like, but then we're lucky. We played great defense, honestly. We played great defense that held us down. I mean, Steph got his 34, but then if you look at the number of points everyone scored, if the other team, if we didn't play great defense, we could have lost the game. So then the defense held us down. And then, the role players, Jordan Poole, GP, Otto Porter made 2 important threes. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Second shot attempt. Robert Williams sets a little bit of a brush screen. 4 assists for Tatum. Porter tries a 3 to answer and does. Otto Porter with his first points of the night.
And Horford responds with a knockdown 3.
Horford's got 9 points already here in the period. Otto Porter tries again. Otto Porter hits again.
Yeah.
2 important threes, and it was like right after the Celtics made threes, he went back on the floor, made 3. So, man, the role players, I'm excited for all of them, man. They came up much.
Kojo, what do you think was happening on offensive end? Because in the beginning of the first quarter, Celtics went on to a great run. It was 17-4. So it was looking like it was going to be a hard game for the Warriors. It was looking like Warriors need to do a great, massive comeback. What do you think happened on the offensive end for Warriors to pull back with a 21-0 run?
I think Warriors basketball, right? I think we expected Celtics to come out and play the way they've always played. I mean, they had their back against the wall. Milwaukee, Miami, they showed us they could do it, right? And so I was expecting us like they're gonna come if by the second quarter they're up by 15, we should forget it. So I feel the Warriors were also expecting it, and just settling into the game. That's where you need the vets and the old guys, right? They're calling us old, they're calling us, but you need them to settle down. And a lot of people are talking about how Steph wasn't even on the floor when we were running that 21-0, right? He wasn't on for the most part, but it's knowing he's there, knowing what he can do, freeing up some of these boys and them playing Warriors basketball, moving the ball, running these guys ragged. And I felt the fans also turned on them. I think like halfway through that run, you could see the Garden go, like there were grounds all over the place whenever they would turn over the ball, whenever something doesn't work. Whenever we made a basket, you could see the energy leave the Garden. And that often breaks teams, right? When you look around and the people who are supposed to be cheering you can feel it. They can sense it's over, right? It can suck some of the energy out. So I feel that's what turned things around for us.
Kingsley, what do you think starting the Warriors? They had a very slow start before actually turning it over with a 21-0 What do you think was Celtics doing right in the beginning for like the first 4 or 5 minutes to actually go on that great run before the Warriors will come back? What was the Celtics doing right?
Honestly, I feel like the Celtics were not doing anything really. It was the Warriors that were not really settled in the game. Because then when they came, they were just trying to play their own basketball and also see how like the Celtics are gonna go after them and stuff like that. So I feel like the 14-2 run, it was just them monitoring how Celtics are gonna play the game. But then after they got a grip of the game, they just took it and then they just ran with it. It was like 56-25 in the first half, right? In the first quarter. It was in the first half, yeah. It was really, really mad. It was 39, right?
Yeah, 51-39.
Yeah, it was really, really mad. I was really shocked, like 21 points. But in the second half, when Celtics were catching up, I was like, what is going on? Is it going to be one all over again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then it was good. They actually held it down and then finished the fourth quarter really good. It was really a strong quarter. They actually finished.
I mean, basketball is a game of runs, right? So, I mean, if a team is going to run, I'm not really scared. But then, you need to find a way to stop.
But then, it was a 22 run in the third, right? And then they cut it down to 8. So I was like, damn.
Yeah, everyone goes run. So you need to find a way to stop the run and go on yours. So
you could see the panic among the Warriors fans on the timeline, right? People are like, we're going to bottle it. And I'm like, listen, we're due for a run, right? We're due for a run.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right. Now I got a question for you guys. And it starts with Draymond. Now, coming into the finals, Draymond had a very decent game 1. But game 2, game 3, game 4 wasn't actually the Draymond that we've seen from 2017, 2018 finals, even 2016 finals. What do you think was happening to Draymond mentally, physically? Was he tired? What was going on?
Draymond, I feel like people were expecting a Draymond to drop 20 points or something a game, bro. You need to appreciate Draymond on the defensive end first, because on the defensive end, he's like the leader, right? He sets the tone and then everyone else follows, right? So if he does not set that tone, we most of the time lose the game. On the offensive end, it's Steph. Steph sets the tone and then everyone else follows. So then we need to appreciate him on the defensive end first, what he does on defense. And then offense is like an extra, like if he scores 10 points for us, that's great for us, we win the game. But then what he does on the defensive end, bro, if you look at the stats against him on Brown and him on Tatum, crazy. He guarded them very well whenever they were switched on him. So that's what we need to appreciate first. I mean, he did not play great because he fouled out a couple of games. He could be better, aggressive in certain moments, but then need to appreciate the guy out defensively, honestly. Mm-hmm. So that's what I look at.
So in all around, you think he had a good game or a bad game? Like,
I just feel like he was decent. Like he was good enough to help us win games. Like in terms of his productivity going forward offensively, I feel like it will be better. But then that's not what you need to expect from Draymond, right? Like
I think his game, especially this final, was really underrated. We talk about how Draymond was just. Let's go back to the first game, right? That was one of the games everybody thinks the Warriors didn't do well, right? Draymond had 11 rebounds, 12 rebounds in that game. Mm-hmm. Defensively, he was solid. I mean, he played I mean, you can't tell me a defensive player is getting 12 rebounds in a game and is having a terrible game. Yesterday, he had like 11. I think as a defensive team, the Warriors are really underrated.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see the Boston team make like 3 or 4 blocks, and it's like, you can't imagine that the first game was 6 blocks apiece. Yesterday, they only had 1 block more than us. But the Garden was jamming every time they would swat the ball. And I'm like, we defend about as well as they do.
Right.
But it's not talked about. And the defense goes through Draymond. He's telling everybody where to stand, who to pick up. And he's just keeping the team together. Look at the team we have. We shouldn't play the way we do. We shouldn't defend. We shouldn't steal the ball as much as we do. We shouldn't cause people to cough up the ball as much as we do. And it's because of Draymond. So people, yes, he's not scoring 20 because he's not there to score 20. Right. But he's there to keep everybody on their toes. The way he pushed the ball up the field, half the time he's creating space for all these shooters. So I think he had a great final. He would never be MVP, but this is as best as Draymond can give us. Yeah. And so I think people should give him some credit.
Yeah, if you learn to appreciate him defensively, you would appreciate everything he does on the floor. I feel like his big criticism is him being open and not trying to take a shot. That's one thing that he needs to do more. He can be in the paint and he's like, yo, it's that rim is right there, bro. Just miss, take a shot and miss.
I think the fact that he realized that his game hasn't developed on that part of body yet, so he actually try and look for more guys to be wide open. Because when you look at Steph's stats for scoring, most of his points, assists actually comes from Draymond. You understand? So Draymond has realized he has a chemistry with Steph, and Steph can actually shoot the ball, arguably the greatest shooter ever to hit the planet Earth. So it only makes sense. I mean, yesterday he actually hit one in Robert Williams' face, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. Like when you're aggressive that way, like take your shot. Like, he took a jumper. I'm like, okay.
Also, right. Do you know the reason why people really underrate the Warriors defense? Because then it gets overshadowed by their offense, how they play, the style.
That's true.
That's true. People are more into that than their defense. They're like, okay, you guys know how to play defense, but your offense, man.
Okay. Exactly. Now, who from the bench would you say was the greatest contributor? Otto Porter or Gary Payton?
3. GP2, obviously. I mean, Porter can shoot. Porter changes. He's not a big, like basketball big, but he makes us a little bigger. But GP is a pest, man. He's a pest. He is in your shorts. He's in your shirt. Like, he's going home with the referees and the whistle. He's everywhere. You can't scratch him. He is everywhere.
But Porter is like a big guy who can shoot. So then it helps space out the floor more, So, and that's why he had all those open shots to take, because they were not contesting the shots. So he had the open shots and he took them, and it really helped us.
All right, and Andrew Wiggins. What are your thoughts on Andrew Wiggins in the finals, Kingsley?
Well, do you remember the first show? I told you Andrew Wiggins would be he would be the guy to go to, because then he will be open more times. They are not gonna guard him as much as, like, the defense attention would not be on him as much as it would be on Stephen Clay. Right. But if he could really play good, Warriors are gonna win this, and he actually exceeded expectations. He really played hard, both ends of the floor. Like, he guarded Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum was really, he was just a normal dude. He wasn't really he didn't play like a superstar, to be honest. And it was all credit to Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins really, really did the number on him.
All right. Yeah. Now, the Wiggins-Tatum matchup coming into the finals, were you expecting such great defense from Andrew Wiggins to work on a great shooter and a great scorer, actually, like Jason Tatum?
Honestly, I expected him to do well, but I didn't think it was going to be this great, honestly. I didn't think it was going to be this great. Tatum is now called Jason Wiggins because Wiggins is his father. Let me tell you. Bro, listen, he has locked the guy, when he gets the ball, and he sees Wiggins, he's like, Lord. Like, you know when you get to a point where you're like what else should I do? There's nothing else you can do. He calls a switch. The switch will switch back and Wiggins is back there. Like, when you call the switch and he's on Steph, by the time he drives, Wiggins is helping. I'm like, Yo, the guy was in his bro. Yo, he locked him up. Life sentence without parole, bro. That guy he's gonna respect Andrew Wiggins for the rest of his life because Tatum did not even play in this series, trust me. He got his points, but he was inefficient. 3 of 17.
What was shocking is Tatum, there was one play where Tatum was really open in the corner, right? He shot the three and he airballed it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he missed.
That's
everything.
how you know.
but another part of Wiggs' game that nobody talks about is he was durable. He gave us so many minutes. Yesterday he gave us 44 minutes. It's ridiculous.
And that's back-to-back games with 40 plus minutes.
Exactly. Even when the guy he's guarding is seated, like bring me whoever I'm playing the same way, and he played with grit. He played with he deserves some plot.
All right, now
you know there was this game, right? Warriors Lakers, where he actually locked down.
Abroad.
That's when I knew this guy, man.
okay.
And Wiggs is the man.
Looking at the team, it has a lot of vets and a great young core as well. But information coming in right now says from the owner Joe Lacob, he says that we have a good team. We have an idea what we're going to do. Obviously, we have a great roster. I don't anticipate a lot of changes. What do you think is going to happen in the offseason? Now that the season is over, are you guys expecting some great changes in the roster? Who do you think is going to leave? Who do you think is going to stay? And who are you expecting to actually leave? Because you can't keep the same guys coming into the next season due to luxury tax and salary cap spaces and stuff like that. So I'll just throw it out to you guys. What do you think?
I'll have to see their contracts. So how much does Wiggins earn at the moment?
Wiggins eligible for I think 40 million this year.
Mm-hmm. Let's see the roster.
I think Clay is also eligible for 40 million this year, but then I think Wiggins is going to be a free agent after the next season. So his contract he signed with the Wolves is going to end at the end of next season.
Oh yeah.
So he has one more year he could play. So but Jordan Poole is going to sign. He has to sign a contract. He's the future of the franchise.
He's getting
paid. He's getting paid. For those who, I think Bjelica is going to leave. He did his part. I think it was a 1 year vet minimum. He did his part. He was amazing for us. I'm not going to be mad if he leaves. I think Otto Porter, I think he's going to be another to maybe. It's up in the air. It depends on what kind of money he's looking for, the vet minimum and stuff. I mean, Warriors can pay a vet minimum. Joe Lacob could take that money out of his pocket and just pay a vet minimum. Is it like $4 million or something, or $5 million? So, but with the big contracts, I don't know how they're gonna find a way to pull everyone.
If anyone is gonna leave, right, among the stars, who do you think should?
I don't think anyone leaves. I think we at least keep them till the end of next season when things are due, right? I think we know the vets and most of the role players are gonna go, right? I mean, I don't expect Iggy to come back. I'd be surprised if he does. True. Belly might go because he was just a Wiseman sub, and Wiseman is back. He had a few good games at the end of the season in the G League. So I think if Wiseman is back, we don't need to get Belly back. Right. Porter, I would be sad to see some of the guys go. Yeah. Not because they're great, but because of how they've been around the team. Chioza and all those guys. They are not contributing much, but I like to see.
Chioza is going to stay because he's on like a two-way. It doesn't really matter. He's like a G League player. He's just there for like the numbers. So Chioza, JTA, some of the guys.
JTA stays.
Those guys are just there for like.
Yeah. For the stars, I think we keep the core. I just don't think they're going to be as deadly as. I can be wrong. We've been wrong about these guys, but I don't see it. I think we take another off season, just calm things down, get Wiseman in the system, try and get the young guys going, and maybe make another run.
What's up?
But I don't see it. I really don't see.
The thing with the core players is that I feel like Steph has signed his last big deal with it, in my opinion, though, because he signed a contract this offseason for 4 years. So by 2025, 26, I think he's going to be done. I think that will be when he's done. That was his second 200 million. He's gonna make 50 million in this last year.
Okay, now actually talking about that, Kevon and Wiseman. Wiseman coming back. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully he can actually compete a lot. But Looney did the unthinkable. Played every single game this season. 100 plus games. That's incredible. That's like something you barely find in the players playing in the league these days, because a lot of players actually like to take time off some games and load manage and stuff like that. We've seen it with a lot of great guys. But should Wiseman come back healthy, what do you think is going to be the situation between himself and Kevon Looney going into the lineup? Do you think you're going to see any changes, or you still think the Warriors will stick with Kevon Looney?
Wiseman comes in. I think Wiseman stays on. I think Looney now knows his role. I think he played it well. Yeah, he got to play every game because he understood when he was going to come in, how many minutes he's getting. He didn't sit out games to manage the load, but he managed the load within the game, right? I mean, he was getting games where he played like 5-6 minutes. And so I think Wiseman comes in, it's going to be progressive. We're not going to just, throw him to the wolves, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like he said, when Wiseman comes, right, he's definitely not going to start. He can't be in the starting lineup immediately after he returns. I feel like he has to work his way into the starting lineup.
Okay.
Because then right now, Looney is really balling out, and I feel like they should just keep the way they are doing things. Because then it's just a championship team. Why would you change it? Like, just leave it like that and see how it goes as time progresses.
Yeah. That's how I mean, Wiseman was drafted to be the starting center.
I know that.
Right?
I know that.
And what he gives us, if he stays healthy and learns from even Kevon and the other and plays with the team, he can give us more than Kevon gives us in terms of his productivity offensively and even defensively. He's more athletic. Even though he's big, he's more athletic. He has a jump shot. He can make a three. So he gives us more than Kevon gives us, in terms of spacing the floor, defending another big man like Giannis. Like, whenever we play against Giannis, we are terrible because Giannis he's too, like, we don't have a big guy who can guard Giannis, right? So Wiseman, if he comes back healthy, stays in the gym, works his body up to being like fit, bro, he'll be a problem, I think. So,
all right, now let's talk about the man of the moment, the man that made the Warriors keep saying Warriors for like the next till we start the season again in October. Steph Wardell Curry. Now, Finals MVP, finally, after 4 championships, he has it on his belt. Do you think it was really important for Steph to have to win this Finals MVP to actually solidify his place as one of the greatest players to play the game?
No, I don't think so. I feel like that's what a lot of people would say, and the old heads and stuff. But I feel like he revolutionized the basketball game. So I feel like he should be in the top 10 all time. Like, even before, like Shaq said, he's in the top 10 even before like him winning the ring. So I feel like that's how I feel. And I feel like this Finals MVP is an accolade that would go on his CV, and it would obviously help improve it. But I feel like he already solidified what we already knew. He's an all-time great.
Okay. All right. Yep. What do you think?
Did he need it? No. Am I glad he got it? Yes. I mean, now, again, that's what everybody was saying yesterday. What are they going to say now? I mean, Steve Kerr made a joke, like, get the Olympic game, get a gold medal, and then maybe we'll talk, right? I think he did not need to show us any more. I think he's done enough. And we've had the slander, we've had the arguments, we've had so many things, right? But for us, we're just lucky to be watching this. And I'm sure in 20 years, it's going to be difficult to explain to people what we're experiencing, right? And how much we trash talk and we slander this guy. Because if you look at the stat, the guy is averaging over 90 field goal percentage, right? It's going to be difficult to see anyone come close. Like, look at the threes he's making. Just even in the final, like, he's done enough. He didn't need this Finals MVP. It's a nice thing. It just, it's just another wonderful medal on his illustrious career. But I think the guy is great. And Finals MVP just silenced a few of the critics. But yeah, we're going to hear a lot more. I'm sure they're going to find something They're gonna be like, yeah, he missed one free throw against Milwaukee 60 years ago, so he's not great. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy because
Skip Bailey says he's not great fourth quarter.
We get Skip. I honestly think he didn't need it. I don't like that need. He already is going to be a great regardless, But you can only build upon your legacy. You can only add stuff to it. If he's in another All NBA team 9, another 110, you can only build upon it and make it better and bigger and bigger to the point where you can't do anything else. So then it was great for him to win Finals MVP. I also said if the Warriors were going to win the championship, he had to be the best player on the team. We're never going to win this championship without him being the best player. And him being the best player means he's going to win Finals MVP. And he said it himself, if I win Finals MVP, then it means my team won, right? And I was the best player on my team. That's it. I guided my team. I'm the franchise player. I have to do what I have to do for my team to win. So, it is what it is. He did what he had to do, and we won.
Okay.
Well, I think I saw an interview with him and Malika Andrews, right? Just like you were saying, Kojo, about one. No, was it you or Kiss about the gold medal? He said Grant Hill is a team managing director for the USA Basketball, right? And he said he's gonna start recruiting for for the team for the next Olympic Games, and that's the last thing left. So I'm sure Steph is gonna go to Olympic Games the next one.
Okay. I mean, the guy graduated college for crying out loud, so I feel like he achieved that too. Yeah. So
Okay. All right. Now let's wrap things up real quick and let's look at the Celtics a little bit. Now, coming into the finals, the Celtics had the best defense as against the Warriors, who are actually number 2. But I mean, again, number 1 always is what we talk about, not number 2. But were you guys a bit adamant that this would go to 7 games, like game 7? Or it felt like, we're having a series after game 1, actually, let me put it this way. After game 1, did you guys think this was going to go to game 7?
I thought it would go game 6, but 7, I didn't think it would go game 7.
Yeah. I think after game 1, I didn't think we were going to win. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I panicked. I was like, it was scary. If they had come home and punched, I was expecting them to close out. I thought they had the grit. If they had won both games in Boston, they would have closed us out in 5.
Yeah.
So I was scared. I was like, they could do it.
The funny thing, if they had won the both games in Boston, right, I still feel like they would.
But they still would have won.
Boston are not great at the TD Garden in this playoffs, so they will definitely drop a game.
That was my hope. Yeah, that was my that was something.
That is what I knew. I knew definitely 100% they are gonna lose a game.
But listen to what you said though. They had already won game 1. If they had won those 2, it would have been 3-1. Yes, they might lose another one in TD, but they were good on the road.
Wait. It might be 3-1, right? But then they'll come to Chase
twice.
2 times.
Yeah, they might have a chance. You said they lose in the Garden, yes, but they had 2 chances to. I mean, it would have been bad. I don't think we would have come back from that.
Right? But I still feel like after the game 1, right, I still feel like Warriors are gonna win this, because then when they go to Boston, obviously they're gonna drop a game. They are really terrible on their floor. I don't know why they can't. I don't know if it's their fans or. I actually don't know.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it was going to be 2-2 coming back to Chase. Yeah. I said it was going to be 2-2 coming back to Chase. So I was still confident after game 1. I told them I was on there with them. I said, hey, relax. It's just one game. We're going to adjust. We're going to make things different, and we're going to come back strong. So watch out.
All right.
I mean, game one was a setup call for me. I mean, I was yapping, I was fasting these guys' chops all over the place, and then they beat us. I was like, man, it could be scary. And I mean, for the most part, I feel Boston harmed their game along the line. I think they were trying to adjust way too much, way too fast. Right? I think after they lost in the Garden, they were like, we have to scramble things together. Let's lock Steph down in game 5. Clearly it backfired, right? Game 6, and like I say, even yesterday, when they went behind on that run, right? The fans turned on them and the players just gave up. I think Rob showed it, Smart showed it. There were times he was like, yeah, just go score on me. I don't care about this anymore. So
And also the game one, right? Celtics really didn't do anything that really convinced me like that, except the fourth quarter meltdown by the Golden State Warriors. They didn't really actually do anything that would put fear in me like that. I felt like Warriors lost the game, Celtics didn't win the game. So that's how I felt. That's why I had so much confidence that Warriors are gonna correct their mistakes and back.
All right, real quick, I gotta ask this because I know it's a long way. It's gonna be a long vacation for these players. It's gonna be an enjoyable time for them. But when we kickstart tip off in October, are we expecting Warriors to be back in the final?
So Warriors fan, yes. I mean, I'm the most optimistic fan in the world, man. Like ever since the playoffs started, I was calling sweep for everything, even though I knew it's just me being optimistic. Like me being like,
your takes will be biased, right?
Yeah. If you have support towards one team, it's always going to be biased. Even if you think the other team is better, it's always going to be biased. You know, unless I put that one aside and say, okay, you know, this is what I think.
I feel like I have to wait until maybe 10 games
see what changes.
See what the roster looks like before the season starts. I think that would be great too.
I mean, I said it earlier in the show. I think we take a year off. I don't think we have what it takes to do it back to back. At least now. Let's see what changes.
We took 2 years off.
Yeah, I mean, this took a lot. I mean, these guys are not 25, right? They're not young, and the league is changing. Like the talent in the league now, I think this story would have been different in so many ways if we had met so many other players, right? If we even in the West, right? If we're meeting a healthy Lakers, it's going to be tough, right? Yes, you're meeting even if Utah had their full complements, right? And so I think the league is so balanced now. If Giannis had Middleton, he probably streaks over Boston, and we're probably going to a game 7. We're not talking about, and so I think I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I'm not going to, even as a Warriors fan, like I'm being realistic. The season just ended. I think I would take a conference final. But
honestly, we this is not even a fully fit, fully like playing perfect Warriors team. Honestly, this is a Klay Thompson coming back from a 2-year injury. This is a Draymond Green who did not have even an amazing finals. This is a Jordan Poole who's going to get better next year. A GB2 going to get better next year. Like a bunch of guys, Wiggins settling in, going to get better next year. Like Steph is like, so it's not going to be the same team. We're actually going to get better, and the additions are going to help. So it could be. Steph said it. He said we can actually play better. He said it. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
And Draymond's podcast is going to get better.
The bigger,
Who knows? It's gonna help him.
The Draymond Green show. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've looked at the finals. Great Warriors 6 and winning the TD Garden. I mean, it's amazing. Putting it in front of the fans of Boston and just shoving it in their face. And now they're gonna go back to a parade and an incredible season for the Warriors has capped off. So, guys, it was incredible having you guys. But final words for any Boston fans out there.
Yeah, I have something for them.
Mention it.
I think I'll take a different route. I think I'll take a different route. I think yes, there's banter on social media. I mean, I'll roast them, but they're a great team. Like they have a great team. They have a great coach. I think they're developing something. Something is brewing in Boston. We should set up. Like I think they're gonna probably come back stronger, and I wish them all the best. They're a great team. I kept talking about how bad their defense was and all that, but that's just, I'm a Warriors fan, right? But after playing them, I respect them. But the fans talk too much, man.
The only thing brewing is Starbucks.
They're fans, so I can't explain anything more than fans just trying to yab and all that. Kingsley, any last words for OKC? What are we going to see next season?
Shay.
You're gonna see draft picks.
Hey, come on.
A bunch of rookies, huh?
What?
A bunch of rookies.
Don't worry. Just
some respect on SGA, man.
Okay. All right, Charlie, guys, it was amazing having you here talking the basketball. We'll be back at the same time. Do also check out Kweku Pukwajiman's YouTube page.
Calling me Kweku.
Yeah, got amazing content there. We'll be back. I'll be back with the Celtic fans. to do a wrap up of the season. But for now, the Warriors are just Warriors out.
Warriors.
Congratulations to you guys. We'll be back and then we'll check out more on the OMN podcast. Do not forget to subscribe and also click on the bell so that as soon as we post, you're the first to watch and leave a comment and like. So peace out to you guys. I love you guys as always.
Yeah, man.
The season is over, so now you guys can just chill, get some good sleep and Charlie.
I'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Be back soon. All right.